Alhamdulillah, I would recommend, the reasons why I recommend Jamaat is when you go Jamaat, you get to sit together and sleep together, eat together. That is when you go for 3 days, and you learn a lot about Islam, which you didn't know, that is Rasulullah, the way of life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when you come in Jamaat, it helps you improve you as spiritual-wise. The things you was doing before, for example, praying your salah, praying 5 times salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps you. The spiritual help Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you, start to be practicing. And when you're practicing, all these bad things, you know what is right, what is wrong, and you start to act on it. Din, inshallah. What do you think about the activities? Why do you recommend it?
Why I recommend Jamaat is firstly one, I might hardly know this brother here, but you know what? I love him for the sake of Allah, and he's my brother. He's my Muslim brother, and we're united by that. And that's the beauty of Jamaat for me, is that I care for him, I have nasiha for him, he cares for me, he has nasiha for me, which means if he sees a wrongdoing, he will correct me. If I see a wrongdoing, I will correct him. And it's not because one thinks they're better than the other, it's about encouraging each other to do goodness. It's about making sure we perfect our souls and we perfect ourselves as human beings, and we take care of the spirit which Allah has blessed us with. And
why would I recommend Jamaat? Well, I'd recommend it for a number of reasons, especially for the youth in the West. I feel that we are distanced from our own religion. If you go on Jamaat, you effectively close yourself in and you try and learn, you try and get as much out. I feel like it's a purification of the soul, just learning about your religion, learning what you're meant to do. And nowadays, the youth are not necessarily close to their religion. In the West, they're more close to the pop stars of today, and rather than who I wouldn't say should be, but at least in the right path, closer to their religion.
Jamaat is very important. Islam is a very vast religion, and nobody knows everything about Islam. Even scholars have to even learn upon some aspects that they are unsure of. Jamaat helps to increase the knowledge, but also is vital for the youth to come and embrace Islam. After all, the cultural differences here in the Western world affect one's ability to practice the religion. There are lots of distractions in society, such as the media, television, even such as the town centres. They can distract the Muslims, and they come away from the mosque. So coming in Jamaat is a way to ponder upon oneself and to increase their knowledge, increase their wisdom, and increase the way they operate in life.
Apologies before we got interrupted by the lights that have sensors. So when you don't move, it's very much a case of the lights go out. Must be MI5 bug in the masjid. Now see, brothers can have humour and joke, and that's the joy about it. I've seen Ayaz squint behind the camera, but we can have a laugh and a joke at our own expense, because you know why? We know what our deen represents. We know who we are. We know how we need to live our lives. We don't need to be labelled with any labels about whether we're oppressive or misguided or extreme. Because I tell you what, I know my deen and I know my faith because of Jamaat and because Allah has allowed me to come to this mosque since 1997 and pray 5 times a day, to make all of these brothers my friends, and to have them for life, inshallah, to learn what is correct Islam, to know how to be rightly guided, to know what is to pray properly, to know what the ayats of the Quran mean properly. This is the benefit of Jamaat, not to be labelled with anything which is negative about Islam.